Do you ask yourself what more you could have done and sooner to prevent this?
Specific to the election issue, I just don't know. I was ready to go out after election day and say, look, there were incredible things we should be proud of. Record Hispanic turnout for Republicans, record Black turnout for Republicans, electing so many women to the House of Representatives, and say, this president never planned to be in Washington forever. He didn't win, but there's a lot we should be proud of in our agendas moving forward. But I was asked to stand down, and the message instead of the election was stolen is what won the day. And it's wrong. And the American people need to know you can trust your institutions, you can trust your vote. We didn't win because we just came up short, and that happens.
Would you feel safer this morning if President Trump resigned?
I think that it's something he should seriously consider. I don't think that when you've got just a number of days left, there's any need to carry on kind of the charade of an impeachment. The People's House needs to get back to work. We need to get aid to tens of millions of Americans. But I think Vice President Pence has stepped in as the real leader, getting the National Guard during this crisis that unfolded. And John, I would just say to you, I've traveled all over the world and I've spent time in democracies much more fragile than ours. And what I saw in the Capitol is not representative of who America is.
Just to be clear,
and it should never.
You would feel safer today if President Trump resigned and Vice President Mike Pence took over?
I would.
Could you ever support Donald Trump again for election?
I wouldn't. And just candidly, there is a lot that he did right. There is a lot in the America First policy agenda that Republicans should hang on to. I want us to keep those votes of the 74 million people. I want us to build on the good of Donald Trump. But in a moment that called for leadership, that called for compassion, that calls for quick judgment to save lives, he came up short. He didn't make the right call.
To those who say to you, Alyssa Farah, you're doing this now because you want a job somewhere after this. You're doing this now to clean up your own reputation. You say?
I have a job for one, but I stand by the positions I held in the White House, the public statements I made, the private counsel that I gave. My belief was always it's better to be in the room and try to influence outcomes for the better than to cede that position of authority to somebody who may not have the best interest of the country at heart, who may not have my values and convictions. I consider myself proud of my service. But I understand that for many people, we are hurting because of the direction that this president has taken us. And to them, I would extend, it is time for us to rebuild as a party and as a country, to come together and to remember fundamentally, there is more that unites us as Americans than that divides us.
Alyssa Farah, as I said, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your willingness to talk to us, talk to the American people, and importantly, talk to the 70 more million people who voted for Donald Trump. We appreciate your time.